March 9, 2026. This is the S&P 500 E-Futures Mini on the 2000 tick chart using NinjaTrader 8. This is what the chart looked like today. There's no economic data to really move the market. There was actually quite a bit of volume, and it was really choppy. Overall, it looked like it was, well, from Friday, there was this big gap down. More news from Iran. I think oil prices are really high. Sold off in the pre-market. It looked like it was one leg sideways, small little step down, then kind of a second leg, but it was more like two legs up. There weren't, I mean, there were a lot of things that I marked that I noticed, but I didn't really call them trades. And there's two trades that I took and one trade I missed the entry on. The first trade was, it was like a justified trade in my mind, but it was a poor setup. It just kind of ignored some of the rules. And then the second trade that I tried to take, I missed the entry. And then the third, I was able to take for a profit. So it was one loss, one win. So in the pre-market, prices flushed down, bounced, kind of went down this orange down channel. EMA is acting as resistance. Then it hits the low of the day. It starts reversing back up. Looks like it was moving up this green up channel. Break, test the high, and it just kept going. I eventually drew this yellow up channel because it fit with one touch, two touch, well, barely a second touch, but definitive second touch, third touch, maybe a fourth touch here. High side had a breakout. I was looking for, well, I wasn't looking, but I was looking here and I thought there might have been a potential second entry long here, but the signal bars aren't very good. Sells off, break of this orange down channel, starts moving sideways, moves up, sells off, pushes back up. And right before the open, it starts rallying back up. It creates a measured move. And there's a few of these black arrows because today being a Monday, I think I was in my mind probably a little too aggressive or too restless. So I saw these things in real time and I was just anticipating what they would do next, but without all the checklist items indicating that it's a good trade. So I'll go through them as I see them. Creates a localized high. Also, it looks like it's two measured legs up and it starts reversing. I saw this and I thought, is a localized low, first entry short, pull back, second entry short. It's a bad signal bar. So again, I was tempted, but I fortunately didn't try to just jump on this. I mean, it would have worked, but it doesn't really justify anything. It happens again here. It's a new low, first entry short, pull back, second entry short. If it creates a second entry short, unfortunately, the signal bar is terrible because it's too bullish, and the trigger bar never bounced above and engulfed it. Pushes down on this red down channel, break, test the low. There's a potential triple test here. It looks like it was a break of this red down channel, test the low. I saw this, but again, there was no reason to take this trade because the red down channel is very broken and tested low. But I just like the way the signal bar looked. I thought there was a triple test here and it was coming back in, but there's really no clean range that you could really say it's definitive. You need more, in my opinion, more price action, more bars to kind of confirm this range. Again, it sets up this other thing that I saw. So it's a new low, first entry short, second entry short. Again, it's the same issue as this one. Signal bar is not good. It's not attractive to try to go short here. Pushes down, it creates a higher low here. Technically, you have a localized high. Say first entry long, pull back, second entry long, pull back, creates a double bottom and pushes up. I thought this might have been a higher low, but it's technically a matching double bottom. But the way it was setting up, it felt like a higher low with a good signal bar. But it's an almost trade for me because I don't have enough experience to justify taking this as a trade. Creates a localized low, first entry short, pull back, second entry short, pushes up. It kind of tests the high of this green up channel. And I was thinking there's some kind of resistance here. So I thought, well, after this signal bar closed, this red one here, I thought there might have been possible short here, but I didn't trust it enough because it didn't close at the low. Pushes down, pushes back up. Now it looks like it's two measured legs up, reverses back down. Break of this orange down channel kind of pushes down on this gradual red down channel and creates, at the time, I thought this support area, because it looks like there's an area of support here, area of support, fail breakout, And at one time I was thinking there could be a potential trading range setting up with the highs here, and the lows here. This could have been a potential fail breakout, but it didn't create a potential corresponding matching breakout here. Pushes up in this green up channel, test the high. Localized high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long. Technically you have a third, but I saw it as a visual 1, 2, and then you have a higher low here. Now, this green up channel didn't exist yet, so I couldn't use it as a key entry point. And so you have a decent signal bar, but I didn't really like it all that much because to the left, it looks kind of choppy, hard to trust. And keep in mind, I was thinking this could have been the high of a potential trading range. So to enter after this bar closed, I felt like I'd be buying into the high and it felt a little risky. So it starts moving up this green up channel. No clean second entries, no clean second entries with obvious second key entry points. It starts moving sideways and then pushes up. It starts moving sideways again. Creates a localized low, first entry short pullback, second entry short. Technically, this isn't a lower high, but it looks like a first entry, second entry, technically a third entry. And I had a hunch about this because I had this blue channel moving up. So I thought there was a potential rejection. And then, of course, I don't take the trade. And then when I see this, I thought, oh, there was a trade here. So it sets up for my actual first trade. Now, in my mind, I got it into my brain that all these black arrows that I saw play out in real time, but I couldn't really justify as any clean setup. And this one that just happened, I needled into my brain that I need to take these anticipation trades, which is not the way to go because, as I said, these black downward arrows are all hunches, but hunches that I don't have a clear idea of why I have the hunch, other than I have a hunch. And that definitely played into the trade that I took here. I'm trading this blue. I'm going to highlight it. This blue, this channel right here, ultimately colored in blue. So I'm thinking, okay, it hits the high. It's confirming well on the low side, confirming well on the high side. And there's no fail breakout. It's coming back down because this red one doesn't exist till later. So this red one doesn't exist yet, or this transparent one. I'm playing this blue one. And in my mind, I'm thinking there's a localized high. It's a first entry long pullback, second entry long pushes down. I was thinking this could potentially be a bounce point. So I was off of no clean setup. I said, this is obviously going to bounce back up because I think, affected by these setups that I thought I was able to interpret. And I said, I don't want to miss out on the next one. And so lo and behold, I enter early. As soon as it broke above here, entered, I dropped in my order right at the close. It fills me, reverses immediately, and stops me out. So this is a no reason trade. In hindsight, it's below the EMA. It's a bad signal bar. It's bearish. And prices just hit the low. This red line here is the low of day of Friday, and it has closed the gap right here. It's closed the gap, so it's reasonable to think that there could be a small little correction, a small little relief before it moves back up. So it hit the high side. That was all factoring in, but ultimately this wasn't a good trade, and I got punished for it. So that kind of sobered me up pretty quickly because these black arrows that I marked, some of them, I guess, were just hunches, which I didn't really figure out why I had that hunch. So it's just hunches that I had, but at the time, I also decided not to take those trades. So this one was definitely a FOMO. Got it. I'm in tune today, and this one proved me wrong. Prices move down. It starts moving sideways. Starts pushing up. It sets up for the second trade that I tried to take, but I didn't get filled. I didn't mean to do that. Here is clear high of day. It's a first entry long visual. Technically, it's first entry, second entry, but visual first entry, pullback, second entry. So I thought this trade, when this bar closed, I tried to enter. I said it's either a visual second entry long or potentially a higher low confirming this second entry long. Plus, there's a triple test off the support. EMA is clearly bullish. It closed decisively above, unlike this one over here. When this one closed, I tried to enter and I dropped my order at the high of this candle. What happened was it moved 6 ticks of my profit target. So I'm going for 6 ticks. It already achieved it. And I decided, well, I don't want it to come back and potentially stop me out. So once it hit the 6 ticks, I canceled my order. So I think this would have worked out if I were faster. But if I were trying to go for more, there's a likelihood I would have gotten stopped out here because my stop was below this guy, which is the double bottom, actually triple bottom of these three. So I missed it. I'm glad I didn't try to chase it. Like I didn't try to enter after this bar closed because it might have stopped me out likely on this one. Starts moving sideways because I fail breakout, pushes up in the screen up channel, starts reversing. And as it does, I established this red up channel because I had 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch. It looks like it fits the high side pretty well, this red one, which I'm going to make orange for now. But I'm going to go ahead and make it, I'll just go ahead and make it orange for now. Pushes up the high side. This is where I take my third trade, or actually second official trade, because the second one didn't get filled. Break of this orange up channel is one attempt, and I was thinking it's going to try to make a second attempt. Had the EMA bounce. Looks like it's 2 legs down. Decent signal bar. I thought this has enough momentum to quickly give me a 6-tick scalp. Pushes down. Break of this orange down channel. Test the low. It does, because I enter 1 tick above and then get my quick 6-tick scalp. And then had I stayed longer, I missed the entry. It flushes down. And the thing of today is there are times throughout the day where prices would spike in one direction or the other without any real news that I could tell. Like you see these big candles show up every so often throughout the day, and it made it a little bit very dicey. So it was one loss and this is my one win. Decided, okay, I feel like I'm at this point in time, I was like looking and seeing things that weren't there. So I decided not to take any further trades, but I did watch. But I also watched loosely, meaning that I was kind of taking care of other things offline or just on my laptop, but not fully focused on trading. So as prices move down, it looks like it was moving sideways. Break, test the low, starts moving sideways here. This is just very congested. These candles just side by side, grouped together. It finally pushes up. There's no clean second entries that I like here. It starts moving up, but I think it's this yellow up channel. Go ahead and zoom in a little bit. This yellow up channel looks like it fit pretty well. I had this initially down here with this fail breakout, but when it created a second fail breakout, that's where I extended it upwards to about right here. It's the sideways consolidation. Is a localized low, first entry long pullback. You technically have a second entry long here, but it didn't really touch the EMA, so that's not something I particularly like. Breaks out of the yellow down channel, break of this orange, test the low, and it starts pushing back up. I saw this as a localized low, first entry short pullback. Technically, you have a second entry short, and you have a second entry short failure here. I saw this, I didn't mark it, but I wasn't sure about it. So it's a failed second entry short visual. But I call it at anything an almost trade because I didn't trust my read because today had been kind of whipsaw. The first trade was notably a nothing trade, but I took it. Second trade I missed. Third one, I will admit it was aggressive and I was lucky that I got my 6 ticks. So seeing something like this, especially when I wasn't fully focused on what was going on after that third trade, I didn't trust myself on this. And as it moved up, I thought, okay, I had the feelings of I missed out, FOMO, but that was a good kind of alert to myself that I need to be extra careful. It's end of the day, and I don't want this to carry over into tomorrow, getting eager and jumping in on another stupid trade because I'm working my way out from being in the red. From Friday, I took 2 losses. I took a third loss today, the first trade, and I finally got a win as my second trade. And so I just kind of was very aware how on the border I am of potentially getting triggered. So just have to carry that into tomorrow and be very cautious. So it pushes up in this green up channel, break, it starts moving sideways. This almost creates a second entry long. It didn't bounce off the EMA, but it would have been perfect if it did have the EMA touch because it looks like pretty clean first entry, second entry, engulfing. You do have just enough to clear a quick 6-tick scalp, I think, right here, or at least a quick 1-point scalp. Pushes up, again, it moves sideways, pushes up again, and it kind of moves in this orange up channel, break of the high. But this is in the last 30 minutes, and seeing how things were today, I wasn't really gonna take anything in this time of day. So it looks like I was moving down. It starts moving sideways. EMA is not that important at this point because it's just moving sideways, and you're pretty much playing range rules, but you're also moving in the last 10 minutes of the day. So kind of pushes into the close. So it's a pretty high volume day. There was a lot of tight, close movements and times where things looked like they were just generating these big spikes. A lot of these questionable black arrow setups that I had, as I call them, hunches, but I couldn't justify. They didn't check all the boxes for me to enter a trade. And I'm actually pretty happy, even though it affected me on the first trade, because after seeing so many, I guess, hunches, I start getting into my head that I know what's going on when I clearly just have these lucky guesses. So noted, I just be extra careful, especially going into the rest of the week, that I don't dig myself into a bigger hole than I already am in. So hopefully that was helpful.